Injustice 2. So Injustice 2 is the sequel to Injustice Gods Among Us, the next fighting game from NetherRealm Studios, the makers of Mortal Kombat. It's a DC fighting game in the vein of Mortal Kombat, minus the fatalities. If the makers of Mortal Kombat take fatalities out of their fighting game, they better make it cool. They did last time, they did this time. First, let's talk about the story of Injustice 2. Alright, so Injustice Gods Among Us, the story was through a slippery slope of very good intentions, Superman has become a tyrant. So Batman devises a plan to take him out with other heroes from another universe. The whole multiverse DC comic book thing. It's real. So now it's been some years after that, this new threat called Brainiac, he shows up on Earth, he's bad news, and the dilemma is, oh well, we might need Superman's help. Supergirl, she's new to Earth. Really, a lot of the story is seen through her eyes. She's like, oh, Kal-El's my cousin. Oh, he's kind of a dick. And that's what I really love what they did with the story in here, because since it's been some years since the first Injustice, some of the heroes who went bad in the first game, they're still bad. Some of the heroes who were bad in the first game have turned good. Some of the villains have turned good. There's a lot of moments where someone's like, I'm good now. Please trust me. And someone else is like, we don't care. A lot of moments of tension. Really, if you look at it, this is DC's Civil War. Only it's not this ambiguous little like, well, both sides could be right for perspective. No, it's Superman's clearly the bad guy now. He's General Zod. So to humor Superman is good is to humor General Zod is good, which I've heard people do. So it's just interesting they took Superman that direction. And the graphics in this game, not only are the graphics great for a fighting game, but when you're watching the cutscenes, the cinematography I was looking at, I was like, this is every bit a movie as a movie could be. And it's a good cast of heroes. In a fighting game like this, you're gonna have your main flagship characters, and you're gonna have characters who are kind of secondary characters. The really hardcore fans might know them. You might know them if you saw the Flash TV show. Not everyone's gonna know them. The first game had that. They've changed some of the characters out for new ones. I think the cast in this game is really well thought out, really well put together. There's 9 DLC characters to come later on. Do you think NetherRealm Studios are taking requests? Like if I say, please have John Constantine in Injustice 2, you think they're gonna listen to it? Probably not. Yeah, I really want John Constantine. And really, if you had a character in the first game that you really loved, they didn't alter your character too much. A couple tweaks here and there, totally get that they're gonna do that in any fighting game. But really the essence of what that character did, like if you were crushing it with Batman in Injustice 1, you can pick up Batman in this game and crush it as Batman. Which is kind of a bummer because people are gonna fight online like, all right, everyone's new to the game, right? Not necessarily. You might get your balls kicked in online, it's just the way it's gonna be. But nothing's more infuriating than when a fighting game, you have that character in the first game, you're like, yeah, I'm so good. I can't wait to play as that character in the next game, and they change everything about them. They didn't pull a Tekken, what was it, 4 or 5, where Paul Phoenix, I'm like, he doesn't even fight like him anymore. The little tweaks in the gameplay are like among the clashes are back. In the last game, they would clash, bounce back, then say something to each other, and then run at each other. This one, the clash happens very face to face. It's very close. And I was like, oh, it looks like it's gonna slow the game down. Not when you're in it. Clash or no clash, you never feel like this game loses momentum ever. Then the special moves, oh my god, the super moves, yeah. Yeah, they're back, and they're ridiculous. My favorite has got to be the Flash. Watch a YouTube video of the Flash's super move from Injustice 2. The big thing in this game is gear. I was really pumped to be farming gear. I was also a little apprehensive and scared about gear. What I love about gear is you now get something for all your hard work. You're grinding, you're doing the fight, you're playing the multiverse. Hey, look at that, you've got a new chest piece for Supergirl. Or you got a new headpiece for the Joker. Yeah, people who didn't like the Joker's character design, it's fine. You can get different hair for the Joker and make him look like a more streamlined Joker that you may or may not be familiar with. The fact that the Joker's even in this game, that there's no reason for him to be in this game. He's not actually in the story at all. He's in one vision that Harley gets, but that's it. Why is the Joker in this game? Because it's a DC fighting game and the Joker is in DC. This is the most recognizable and famous comic book villain of all time. You have a fighting game, you better have that dude in it. So they do. It's as simple as that. They have him in it because he's the Joker. Not only does gear give you different stat buffs, but it makes your character look so different. Every time you go up against a character in any multiverse fight or ladder fight, they look completely different than the last time you fought them. The possibilities truly are endless when it comes to that. And as much as I love opening the boxes, getting a good loot explosion of gear, I love me the gear grind. The thing I was a little afraid of was some of the gear looked so over the top and crazy. I was afraid like my Flash would look something like that PlayArts Kai Flash. I was like, I don't need that. I like playing as the Flash from certain properties. I love the variety, but there is a part of me that hopes that they get gear from different properties. Like that'd be awesome if the Joker got his Killing Joke shorts, Killing Joke shirt, Killing Joke head. It'll be the Killing Joke gear, and you piece all the gear together because there is gear that works in tandem with each other. Like, oh, you have all 3 pieces of that gear set. here's a new buff. It'd be cool if they had gear sets that are actually from official DC property. So far, I haven't seen it. Shoot, maybe you guys have. I just haven't. So right now, it's on the wish list, or at least the hope list. But it does keep pushing you. Anytime you get some really cool piece of epic gear, it's like, oh, that's for your Superman level 12. You're like, my Superman's level 11. They always give you really good gear, like rare gear or epic gear that's a couple levels higher than the character you have, forcing you to play as that character, thus be able to equip it. And the next piece of gear will be a couple levels. It's like dangling a carrot in front of you. You're just like going after it. Darn good, tasty carrot once you get it, though. So I've mentioned the multiverse. I better talk about the multiverse. Multiverse is a single player mode in Injustice 2 where I think the towers in Mortal Kombat X, how they change out, like one's it's a daily tower, the other one's a weekly tower, the other one's like every couple hours. It's like that, but more worlds. One of them's like, in 3 days, that world will go away. In 1 day, that one will go away. In a couple hours, that one will go away. In about an hour and a half, that one will go away. And in each of these worlds is a tower where you beat that, you get a piece of epic gear for this character. You beat the other one, you get another prize, another random loot box of gear. But if you do all the logistics and clear that world out, you get something cool. A platinum box, a piece of gear, a something. And these things are constantly changing out per their change out time, which gives you every reason to go back. I'm telling you, this is the most fun I've ever had playing single player in a fighting game ever. That's the thing about me. Like, my friends don't really play a lot of Injustice and Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat X, I was pretty savage online. I am not gonna lie. I'm better at Mortal Kombat than I am Injustice. So a lot of the times I'm forced to play Injustice by myself. Now there are different worlds with different logistics that give me gear. You're not just doing it for a little border around your profile. Those little profiles do exist. But no, you get gear for characters now. I can't stress how monumentally game-changing that is for a fighting game like this. You thought you loved the towers in Mortal Kombat X? You're never going to leave your couch with Injustice 2. Say goodbye to everything. Goodbye to your job, goodbye to your girlfriend. They're never going to see you again. There you are. Now, as I said, there are 9 DLC characters coming out. All right, DLC it's a fact of life at this point, but I feel that Injustice 2 has done their part to minimize the microtransactions. I haven't actually run across anything in this game that you can buy that you can't earn through gameplay. They assure everyone it's not pay to win. You can't just buy gear. You have to farm it. But you can go on the PlayStation Network and buy these coins, and it lets you unlock costume shaders, alternate costumes for other characters that make them other characters. Or you can just actually play the game, unlock those coins anyway through gameplay, then unlock these gifts, which is what I've been doing. It's what I have to do because this needs to be positively reinforced. When you have fans out there bitching about the fact that game companies are like, oh, you want that gear? Well, you gotta pay for it. And it's like, how many fighting games have I reviewed where I've just been like, why don't we go back to a time where gameplay unlocks the gear? Now, here it is. They're doing that. And even though unbuying the coins to unlock certain things in this game does exist, nothing has a gun to your head saying you have to buy it. You can play the game to unlock it if you'd like, which is what I do. I'm totally cool with other people being able to buy their way into unlocking shit. I just don't want to do that. So here I am having fun unlocking shit through gameplay. Like Captain Cold is in this game. You get enough coins, you can unlock a variant suit of his, which makes him Mr. Freeze. All the character dialogue with him, he is Mr. Freeze, like everything I do for Nora. And I unlocked that because I played enough of the game to unlock that. It felt awesome. I feel like I hadn't felt that in a fighting game in so long. Unlocking characters through gameplay, it's almost new, though very old. Although I haven't seen any way to get Darkseid in this game other than pre-ordering it at GameStop. That is a thing in here, and it's a bummer. I don't know if people are going to eventually get Darkseid for free. All I know is right now he's a pre-order bonus. I don't like that, but time will tell to see how that's managed and how that's handled. There is one of the worlds in the multiverse where you can play as Darkseid, and I'm like, I'm not really missing out. I'm not that great with Darkseid. Guys, in the end, Injustice 2 is a proper sequel to Injustice Gods Among Us, and a very expected follow-through to the step up that NetherRealm Studios always does with their games. Injustice 2 steps it up from Injustice Gods Among Us in every way possible, and Injustice 2 is awesome-tacular. Alright guys, so Injustice 2, have you played it? What did you think about it? Or have you read the comic books? Do you like the Injustice storyline? Are you gonna pick this one up? Are you gonna YouTube the cutscenes? Whatever you think, whatever you've done, whatever you're gonna do, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you wanna see more, click right here to see more.